Being in exile can be stressful. Routines turn upside down. We experience unfamiliar territory. However, according to Daniel and his friends, exile is an ideal time for personal revival. Chapter 2 ends with Daniel being promoted to chief of staff of Babylon's White House. Kings usually need someone brave enough to walk into their Oval Office, close the door, and tell them what they may not want to hear, but need to. To help maintain the information that flows in and out of the Oval Office, Daniel appoints his 3 friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, to deal with daily press briefings. This job is not for the faint of heart. Every king moans and groans and protests about unfair coverage. Press secretaries have the tough job of explaining to reporters why kings do what they do, like make a golden statue that's 90 feet tall and 9 feet thick. Why did Nebuchadnezzar do this? Didn't he learn anything from his dream of a fallen statue? Well, apparently, an anonymous senior administration official leaked to the press that only God's kingdom will stand forever. Time for damage control. Quick, set up an image to change the narrative to Babylon will never perish. Everybody who was anybody came to the dedication. Celebrities, rock stars, CEOs, you name it. They were all there. Attention, everyone, proclaimed the herald. When you hear all the trumpets and the tubas, the guitars and the drums, fall to your knees and worship the gold statue that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up. Otherwise, you're toast. The way Daniel describes it, the ceremony was ridiculously over the top. And that's when the scandal hit. Everyone was talking about it. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to worship the golden image. The king was furious. "If you do not worship the image I made," he shouted, "I'll have you thrown into a fiery furnace. Then who is the God who will deliver you?" Daniel's friends replied, "Dude, we have no need to answer you in this matter. If you throw us in the fire, our God is able to deliver us from the fiery furnace and anything else you might cook up. But even if he doesn't, only God is worthy of worship." As you can imagine, the king's face turned purple. "Fire up the furnace 7 times hotter than usual," he ordered. The Secret Service could see that the king's head was about to pop off, so they immediately tied up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and tossed them into the roaring fire. The whole thing happened so fast, the guards caught fire and lost their lives in the madness. And then suddenly, Nebuchadnezzar's purple face turned white as a ghost. "Hey, didn't we bind up 3 men in the furnace? But look, there are 4 guys, freely walking around in the fire, completely unharmed. And the 4th dude looks like a son of the gods." When Daniel's 3 friends walked out, everybody who was anybody saw that not a single hair was singed, not one scorch mark on their hats. They didn't even smell of smoke. The fiery trial only burned away the things that bound them. The king was so impressed with Daniel's friends that he appointed them to the Situation Room. And just when you think everything is calming down, the king holds a press conference. "God works in surprising and miraculous ways," he says, "even in spite of myself. Yes, world leaders can do many good things. They are like trees that enrich people's lives, providing shelter and other necessities." But Nebuchadnezzar admits, pride turns leaders into beasts. "It is heaven that rules," he says. Let us praise and honor the King of Heaven. He finally got it right. In the midst of our social exile, it's important to remember there is a fourth man in this fiery trial, and his name is Jesus. Heaven rules, and the King of Heaven is not far away. The King of Heaven is with us in our suffering. I'll quote from Beth Moore. Sometimes God saves you from the fire. Sometimes God saves you through the fire. And sometimes God saves you by the fire. Friends, let us pray that the fiery trial we're experiencing right now will only burn away the things that bind us. Tune in next week.